Hey strong people, Beck here from StartingStrongman.com. Thanks for watching all of my previous Arnold reviews, all the new subscribers. Arnold week has been good for this channel so far. Trying to keep up with making daily videos since it is Arnold week, and there's a lot of questions that people have had on the channel. So I put a Q&A, asked for a Q&A if anyone had questions about the Arnold weekend. I've been there many times as media, as a competitor, as a coach, just, you know, stuff in general. So I'm going to answer some of those questions. I asked this in the YouTube community tab, which is pretty cool. So first question is, having looked over the evolution of Strongman, have you noticed a shift or trends, if you will, regarding certain events? Do you think big shows like the Arnold Strongman plays a role in what the Strongman community gets involved in with certain events? So break it down. They're asking, like, do certain events, does what happened at the Arnold or other shows influence what we see at other shows? And 100%. Pretty much, if there's a new event at the Arnold, history shows that that's going to be at every local amateur show, at least here in the United States, for the next 2 years. Some of the events that were first introduced or reintroduced to the public at the Arnold include the Apollon's Axle, the circus dumbbell, the stone over bar, sandbag toss, and the list goes on. Some of these events that are considered staples weren't really done very much until they were done at the Arnold. So I guess local promoters will be making giant wheels of pain. Maybe not, but some sort of simulation. I know the sandbag over bar event got pretty popular, so absolutely. Is the Husafeld stone order done on deadlift placing or random? On a previous video, you said it is at random. That was the case last year with the second event. Yes, that's true. I messed up in my Arnold prediction. I was just going off of what I thought instead of the official rules, which I was sent, same one that's sent to the athletes. And yeah, so they're going to get done with the deadlift, but then there's going to be an order. They're not going to go off deadlift placings for the second event, which is the Husafeld stone carry. And so yeah, it's going to be random on the second event. And then after that, it's whoever won the Husafeld. That's because yeah, that's just how it's being done. Two somewhat related questions / hypotheticals. Have you ever done some thought experiment regarding what Kieliszkowski would have to deadlift to win the Arnold or World's Strongest Man? And is an increased deadlift enough? Yes, could he ever beat Thor in his prime, or would he have to assume that Kieliszkowski would have to wait some years until Thor has passed his peak? He could absolutely win any show if there wasn't a deadlift. I mean, if you look at the breakdown for World's Strongest Man, that's what cost him the most points. I think he got like 7th in that. One of the things that helped him at this last World's Strongest Man is that there was some weaker deadlifters in the contest, and it was a car, so I think he got 7th or so in the event instead of 9th. But even getting like 9th, he's still winning a lot of shows. What would he have to deadlift? It depends on the contest. If he could just get 6th or 5th, he could probably win some of these bigger contests. And if you look at, a step, not A+ level pro shows, but like A level or B level pro shows that he's won, generally it had some, deadlifters that aren't as good. The problem is everyone else in this Arnold Classic has posted a higher deadlift than him. So there's a lot of good deadlifters in this contest because they all qualified through the Arnold World Series, and the Arnold World Series has a ton of deadlift events. Actually, he didn't even win any of the Arnold World Series, and he competed in a bunch of them. He got in on points, even though he's one of the best athletes in the world. It's just the deadlifts. It's hard to get 10th in an event when there's only 5 or 6 events in a contest. The other thing that could help him win is if they went back to a format where there was more overall events. And then, one event wouldn't be as big of a factor, which I actually kind of like. That's a whole different thing. In order to win, this is a problem, even if we put let's say his deadlift's 800 or something, he'd really need to put probably at least another 100 pounds on his deadlift. If he put 100 kilos on his deadlift, we'd be having the same conversation about him being unstoppable as we are of Thor right now. And that's what Thor was at some point, was he needed 100 kilos on his deadlift to become unstoppable. It was a weakness for him for many years. Do you think the stone to shoulder is going to be quite as jaw-dropping as last year, with more people seemingly getting to train with more training, more specific for it? Depends. I think Kielishkovsky could be pushed by Martins, and it looks like Brian Shaw just put up a video where he looks much better on the event, which is big because that lift looked smooth, especially compared to Thor's, which still looks kind of just doesn't look smooth. He's able to do it, and he's strong, and that one he's training with looks hard. But I don't think so, because it was such a new event, and everyone was fumbling around, and we saw a lot of people just kind of looking confused by it, and then we just saw such a dominant performance, just blowing everyone like out of the water on it. Like only 3 people did it at all, and Kielishkovsky did it 4 times. So I think even if he does 5, it won't be like such a moment like it was. Okay, what is the strongman atmosphere like among the athletes during competition days? I know strongman is known for its sportsmanship. I'm just wondering if it's the same with such a competitive, lucrative cash grab contest. Everyone's still very friendly overall. I've been backstage at the Arnold, part of media, as a coach. I've been on the bus in between events, interviewed the athletes, and everyone's friendly, but they all kind of go in their little thing, and you can see there's tension, because they are competing for money. Everyone's going to be friends before, once it's done, for the most part. But it's really cool to see. One of my favorite moments was when they would pick out their own deadlift attempts, and you see a little game going on. Like some guy goes up, he's trying to put it in just after the other guy, and just doing like 1 kilo, a couple kilos more. And there's a lot of head games going on. They're trying to make, Eddie did this big time in 2016 at the last Arnold I was at, which I was media for. But yeah, overall, when I was on the bus with Obi, there was jokes being cracked, amongst people are laughing. That was on the way to the last event, which I think was the sear dumbbell. So, overall it's there, but when it's right in the middle of it, there's some like unsaid tension, and you just see so much focus from 10 different guys, and everyone has their own thing, but it's the energy's cool. It's a fun thing to be a part of. Will the Husafelt replica stone record overrule the record set in Iceland on the real one? That's a good question, and I honestly don't know. We will just have to wait and see if someone does it more than Thor. I know it's still a replica, so it's not the actual stone they're using, but they're trying to recreate it. I think it'll count as its own record, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. Have we heard anything official yet on whether it will count as a new strongman deadlift record if someone deadlifts more than 500 kilos? Who controls that, or is that just Guinness? So Eddie Hall's deadlift is recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records. In the rules meeting, they said Guinness will be recognizing lifts from this as new world records. So I don't know if they're going to count this as an elephant bar record or just a strongman deadlift record, period. If it is attempted, I know I keep a list of records on my website, startingstrongman.com. You just click on records up there. I will put it up as the highest strongman deadlift record, but I always put what equipment it was done on and what So it's going to be official to different people. In my mind, it's official. I just don't think this is a whole other video on just standards and records and strongman, and how if we keep focusing so much on records, it's long-term. Short-term, it's very much helpful to the sport. Long-term, it's not what the sport's supposed to be. Also, tiebreaker event. How's that going to work? It's a great question, and it said in the rules briefing that they will lift the sear dumbbell for reps if there is a tie. So, who does that benefit? I don't know. Probably, I don't know. I think it benefits Brian Shaw if it was between Thor and Shaw. Where can we watch it? What date and time does it start? I'm going to do a whole other video on that, but if you just Google it, they're up there. Where to watch, just quickly, is the Arnold Sports Festival YouTube, Rogue YouTube, and I put up dates and times on startingstrongman.com. It's also on the Arnold website, and I will make a video just on the dates and times. So look on this channel, watch that video too. Over to Facebook for more questions, which are never as good because those aren't the people that actually watch the videos. I like the first one. I asked people if they had any questions on the Arnold Classic, and they said, in regards to what? That's up to you. Live stream pages or website, just answered that. Or am I going to be there? No. Not this year. Thoughts on the dramatic switch to lighter events, now making it no longer the heaviest show on earth? I wouldn't say it's not the heaviest show on earth. There's definitely more dynamic events. They got rid of the stupid bale tote. I covered this in the past. I think it changes things up. It's it's the most dynamic it's ever been, but it's still really heavy. I mean, we're going to see multiple 1,000-pound deadlifts, maybe even one or two or more that are over 1,100 pounds, at least attempts. We're going to see a 430-pound log pressed for reps. That's the heaviest you'll see anywhere. We're going to see, 400-ish pound stone to shoulder with only tacky towels. Who knows how heavy or light the Wheel of Pain is. Still pretty heavy. It's just not as max heavy as events in the past. I think what the problem is that if you keep making everything heavier and heavier and heavier, there's a limit to that, and we've seen that limit in the past years. What are they going to do? Make the yoke 1,000 kilos, 2,200 pound yoke? It was already killing people. So I think it's just there needs to be a progression. You start making things more dynamic. You start changing events. Then you start making those events heavier and heavier over time until they're kind of to the point where making them any heavier doesn't make them any more exciting. Important events, just stuff to do. Something I recommend is to if you want to watch any of the Strongman, if you're going, get there at least an hour early and it's very hard to move around the expo. So give yourself a lot of time to get through the throngs of people. It's annoying. If you want to get free samples and stuff, wait around till the end or buy stuff. Wait around till the very end on Sunday. People will just give you giant stuff. They don't want to ship this stuff back. They'll sell it. I've worked booths at the expo and we drop prices by half if there's still stuff because it's just less stuff to ship. There's the world. I think it's like the World Market or something. They have all kinds of stuff. It's just like a block away, and that's hilarious. If they're going to have it in Columbus every year, why can't they have it in May, June, September, October? Yeah, going to Columbus in March is not my favorite thing to do in the world, especially from being from California. But yeah, rundown of all the amateur events. Yeah, I already did that. Subscribe. Come on, people on Facebook. Schedules, gonna do that too, so watch out. Anyways, that's all the questions. Hope it answered some stuff or made you have more questions. If you have questions, always ask them in the comments below. Let me know if there's other people watching. Look in the comments as well, and comment stuff that you think people should do around the Arnold Classic. If you're there this weekend, places to eat. I don't really remember any of that stuff. Julian Howard is there, World's Strongest Fan, and he's posting it looks like he's on the Gluttony of America tour while the food he's posting. So if any of that, maybe check out his Facebook page. If any of that looks good, eat there. But he's also British, and they have horrible taste in food. So I'm sure anything sounds good to him and is amazing. Anyways, I'm Kalle Beck. Thanks for watching. There's going to be future videos and just a bunch more on the Arnold and everything Strongman. So hit subscribe, turn on post notifications. Follow me on Twitter at LetKaleLift, and same on Facebook and Instagram at Starting Strongman for quicker, up-to-date, stuff on the news and results and everything going on in Strongman. And yeah, what a great time to be a fan of Strongman.